do both. A word of wisdom is if someone doesn't like dogs, they should not be trusted. Just FYI. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and today's video is all about things that I am terrible at. So it's natural for us to want to put our best foot forward when we're in the eye of the public, right? I'm sure many of us have memories of our parents maybe chasing us down with socks, or I like to throw off my shoes when I was a child, and to make us, appear well out in public. So I think by our nature, we very much want to, put our best foot forward in general when it comes to being in the outside world. So that's what I've done more or less for the majority of my life, and to be honest, it's worked out pretty well for me. At this point, I've accomplished many things. I am quite satisfied, and I am ideally pretty content in life. However, one of the things that I have found that I really lacked in a lot personally is connecting with other humans, and it's something I've talked about on my channel a bit, but I'm definitely gonna be talking about it plenty more as well. So yeah, connecting to other humans in meaningful ways. I mean, I've always felt like I'm an alien and I'm trying to communicate to these outside humans, which is one of the main reasons why I started my YouTube channel in 2018, was as kind of like a communicating vessel to people. This year, I've been really wanting to level it up a little bit, and Brene Brown really resonated with me with her whole idea of vulnerability and how that is a common tie in human connection. Now, it's not that I haven't expressed my struggles in the past, but it's more that I just don't really give them any merit, because if I think about it, I'm like, okay, well, the things that I struggle with on a regular basis, they're kind of insignificant compared to the actual problems in the real world and the actual things that people are actually struggling with. And so I tend to kind of dismiss them and not really think twice about them. But it's okay to have struggles that are small and stupid and use them to leverage human connection. At least I think so. So that's what we're going with. So we're going to dive right into 10 things that I am terrible at. And if you are good at some of these things, you might think that I'm potentially being silly or maybe making these up. But these are legit 10 things that I'm terrible at. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing that I am terrible at is human connection. Yay! Like I said before, I really value the experience of human connection because I feel like it's a vital part of why we're here on Earth. I'm just not very good at it. So I see its importance and its significance, and that is one of the reasons why I want to do it better, because it's like I'm here on this planet with my own species. I might as well communicate with them and create this world with them in some way. So that's what I'm working on. So number 2 is handling sharp objects. There was a time where legit my husband banned me from using knives in the kitchen because I am just kind of like Edward Scissorhands with them, and it usually turns out okay with me. I usually am fine, but not all the time. For instance, today I had a salad and I needed to chop a carrot to put in it, and so I was holding the carrot in the air and chopping it like this, and I didn't really think twice about it, but then I was like, someone would probably think this is dangerous, but it was okay. I cut the carrot, it was fine, but I don't know, it just seemed like it was to be quicker than if you put it on the thing, and I don't know, whatever. Sharp objects, not really that great with them. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so number 3, something I'm really terrible at is knowing what's cool. And I feel like some people will be like, what are you talking about? You're really cool. And I'm just like, no, I'm really not. I'm not naturally inclined to know what cool is. And I even remember as a child growing up that I wore the same oversized t-shirts and pairs of jeans for my entire middle school career. Even before then, I would always wear an oversized extra large, even though I was super skinny. I wore like these extra large t-shirts and these jeans, and they'd be like t-shirts from like come visit Florida or whatever, and I just never thought twice about it. And I remember in my 8th grade year having this like realization that like the other girls would like take time to like do their hair and like put on like different kinds of clothes, like they weren't wearing the same thing every day. And I was like, oh, people actually think about this stuff. And so that was a really weird awakening moment for myself. And so, yeah, anyway, long story, it's not innate in me. And I try to like study things to understand like why they're cool, and then like be like, okay, well, maybe I do like that, or maybe that would be fun to try, or, you know, maybe I like this. But like in general, it's like a learned skill for me. It's not like I have certain friends who like they just like know what's like vibey or trendy or whatever. And I think it's really cool that they're just like able to do that thing. But I just kind of, I don't know, it's just not as natural. But, you know, whatever. Fourth thing that I'm terrible at is walking. Legit walking. I think it's because when I'm walking, a lot of the times, and I'm sure you guys notice from my videos, like my eyes go like all over the place. But that's because in my brain I'm visual, and so I'm trying to like think of my ideas, and I'm visualizing my ideas, and I'm trying to avoid the sensory things that are around me and get into my head. And so that's why I'm trying to avoid the camera a lot with my eyes. But I tend to be looking up and like way out, like far out when I'm even just like walking around, and I'm literally not looking at what's in front of me. And the amount of times that I've fallen, tripped, just like busted my butt on something that was like right there is, it's an exaggerated number. Like it is a huge amount. And it's gotten even to the point now that when my friends, like this happens so often that they're not even like, hey, are you okay? They just like keep talking, and like I know some of them are probably laughing right now, but it just happens all the time. So yeah, I'm terrible at walking around. Number 5 thing I am terrible at is small talk. I am probably like one of the world's worst small talkers. If I'm not passionate about the subject matter at hand, or if I'm not interested, or if I don't really know about it's like, if it doesn't stir me, I like can't get invested in it, and it's really hard to. And I know it's something I can learn to do and I can get better at, so I'm working on it, right? Working on it. But overall, it terrifies me. And like elevator talk, like man, mm-mm. So I'm kind of known for, and this is really embarrassing, but like I'm known for like if I get into like a conversation that gets really small talky, like making some a really awkward, abrupt like interruption, and then literally like speed walking in the other direction. And yeah, so like not the best. I can pull it off if I have to, but not easy. My husband, on the other hand, he is great at the small talk, and he can chat up with anyone, and it's very like natural and, you know, intentional and great. So whenever he like comes into a conversation, I'm just like we like switch places. Like he's in, and I'm like I'm out of here. But I should probably do that less. Working on it. All right, so number 6 thing that I'm terrible at is sharing my emotions. What can you even say about emotions? I think kind of, okay, so I know that I have emotions and know that they're okay to have, but a lot of times I invalidate them because their ability, their acting ability in the present moment doesn't make sense for what I'm looking to accomplish, okay? Like that's the best way I can say it. And so because of that, I tend to kind of like blow past them a lot and shove them off to the side. However, what I've learned is that actually like knowing and understanding and processing your emotions is really valuable to, in that present moment, understanding and processing that present moment, and also retaining it in a section of your memory where it's more useful for later. So while it's easy for me to just kind of blow past these things and just be like, yeah, whatever, it's fine, you know, if I take like an extra moment to kind of process it in my head, and then thus be able to express it better later. But that actually helps me with my ability to use that situation and that memory in general of what was going on to leverage it better later in life. So I have to kind of get my logic on board to respect the emotion in order to be able to use it, to use the situation in general better later. So I'm working on that. Trying to be a little bit less of a robot alien, but you know, one step at a time. Okay, so 7 on my list of things I'm terrible at is not over controlling things. So I tend to over control situations because I know the potential outcomes of what could happen, and so I like to prevent those or kind of narrow it in so that the thing I'm looking to achieve and get done gets done to the most efficient way possible. So I kind of navigate my life that way. And people have also, so what I've done for myself is in recent years, I know I've done this a lot. And so people would kind of bring me onto projects because they knew I would kind of organize and control the situation and the process like that. And I would kind of be given lots of, not like work, yeah, like work, extra stuff because they're like, hey, I want you involved in this project. We're like, you know, we're cool. Like, would you like want to be? And they would kind of put it on as like, we'll be like teammates. I'm like, okay. But then it would just kind of be me doing the whole control thing and getting the whole thing to work and then be done. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to control my own projects and my own things. Like, if it's my responsibility, I'll control it, but I am not going to go around and continue to overwork everyone else's processes that they need to figure out themselves. So I'm getting better at controlling just my own stuff and not the world's. So that's good. But in general, I'm kind of a control freak and I'm a little bit like OCD when it comes to like the workings of things. But yeah, I'm keeping to my own responsibilities now. Don't hand me your stuff. Don't hand me your crap. Okay, thank you. Okay, so number 8 on things I'm terrible at is not using things to their greatest like ability. So, for example, this computer that I'm recording this on right now, I saved like over a year to be able to buy this MacBook Pro, and it's a really great one. It's like one of the newest models, whatever. And I purchased it and I probably use it to like 20% of its capacity, not in like storage capacity, but like of the things it can do. And like the same thing with my programs. It's like I'll learn what I need to know to get the thing done, but I won't actually learn the whole thing so that I know how all the parts work. And I think it'd be better to work more like that more often because then I would know the full encompassing range of the things that I could do before I got started on the project. I just kind of tend to work a little bit backwards. So I'm like, I want to get this thing done. And then I'm like, okay, I need my computer to do this and to do that. But because of that, it's like I don't have like the best understanding of like certain technologies and certain things. And so then it's like always the fear game of me being like, should I have updated my software like what is it, like 2 years ago now, you know? And like is this gonna totally combust? Like I'm always worried about like technology things like imploding on me. Like and it's but because it's of my own doing. It's like I know that I did it to myself because I probably should have like taken care of some things like in a sooner manner, but I'm like, oh, those aren't important now. I'll get to it, you know, later. And yeah, so sometimes they do implode. And I was recording the interview that I had posted last week with Dave. I was really nervous about if I did this interview while I was taking someone else's time, you know, and I don't want to waste someone else's time. But I was so afraid of my computer going totally haywire and like losing the footage or something like that, or me knocking something over and pulling a plug out that I literally had like my computer, all of my drives, all of my wires were physically taped down to like my desks and my tables so that nothing had the potential to move just because I was so nervous about imploding like the technology. So it was all fine. It turned out great, which was my goal. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm kind of weird with that. So, Yeah, that's about all I can say. 9 on the things I'm terrible at is taking time for myself. I'm not one of those just like hang out, chill, watch Netflix, like read leisurely. Like I don't do those things. I just don't. Um, I am, working on projects, on goals, on things I'm trying to get accomplished, trying to eat my food in a normal way, drink water. Like that's I'm just trying to get by, and going to rehearsals and work and practices and um, writing for the blog and doing YouTube and all this stuff. And so I'm not really good at like the whole self-care thing, and I'm trying to bump that up a little bit in the next few years because I know that for my long-standing health, it's really important. And I 100% know that, but I like to try to ignore it like in the present because I'm trying to get these other things done. But yeah, scaling back, trying to take some more time for myself, doing that thing, trying to work on that. But right now, I'm pretty freaking bad at it. And the last thing that I am terrible at is being present. It's really funny because at my day job, I work at a place that is more like holistic and natural, and they're all about like tuning in and being in the moment and soaking it in for the self and healing yourself. And I am very not good at that, especially the being present part. It's really been a struggle for me. I know people will all the time, they'll recommend meditation and this and that and yoga. And, I've done some of those things, definitely not as much as I should, but being present and enjoying the moment that I am in is extremely, extremely hard for me because I'm always thinking about what's coming up next, how much time have we spent, where are we going to after this, how all the pieces in play of like the next sequence of life, whatever that is for me at that time, how the workings of that are. And so it's like my brain is always planning ahead whether I want it to or not. It's just doing that. So like scaling it back in and being like, okay, no, this moment right now is important. Like all that planning I did in my head, like it's for this, like whatever this is now. And so making that my reason to kind of like hone in and be present in the moment and enjoy life, because I feel like if I can't do that, then I'm going to be missing out on a lot of important moments that I should be taking advantage of as a human as I'm here on this planet. So yeah, I'm working on the whole being present more thing when I'm talking to people to to try to really engage with them better. Once again, this all comes back to the human connection thing. And really working on those moments, or even if I'm alone, like if I'm out somewhere like in nature, really just like slow my mind down and take in the surroundings and be like, this is important and this has value to me where it is, and I can just chill on my brain a little bit. So anyway, that's the last thing that I have. I hope this was an interesting video for you. I'm not really sure, but maybe it will help you to challenge your own sense of knowing and deep dive a little bit on what you really suck at, because guess what, we all suck at a lot of things, and these are just 10 that came to my mind now, but I'm sure there's plenty more. And the thing is like some things that you may really suck at, I may really be good at, and vice versa. Some of the things that I may have said today, you might be like, are you kidding? Like that's the easiest thing to do. And I know, okay, but that's what, all of us bring that balance into the world, and that's why we're able to survive as humans. So me sucking at something, you sucking at something different, that's why we're all here together. So I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you next time.